At the WVU Coliseum in Morgantown, West Virginia, expecting a good game. The unbeaten Mountaineers, coached by Bob Huggins, who's with Robbie and Spakowski.
Bob, you're coming off a couple emotional victories against good teams in Cancun. Coming back home, what challenges does your team face against this Rhode Island team?
Well, we're going to play 38, 40 games, so we better get ready to play. I mean, it's we practice all summer, practice pretty much 12 months out of the year. You ought to really get excited about playing.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
Robin Warren.
Robbie, thanks very much. And Bob Huggins will send out a little bit different lineup. The guy in the middle is going to be Gabe Osaboyan. No Derek Culver in the matchup. We talked about Sheboy, how strong he was, and expecting to see McBride off the bench. David Cox is the coach for Rhode Island. William and Mary grad in his second year coaching the Rams. Guy who was fraternity brothers with Mike Tomlin at William and Mary. And here's his starting lineup. All 5 starters return from these 18-win team a year ago. Harris, Langevin, Russell, and Doughton in the backcourt, and also Jermaine Harris up front. And it will be Harris and Sheboy ready to jump things off here, tip things off. 34th meeting all-time, West Virginia leading 20-13. And again, we talked about the 83-70 victory for Rhode Island last December. Sheboy and the Mountaineers control. This is McCabe, and he is going to be guarded by Fats Russell. Man-to-man defense for Rhode Island. Not a deep team. Oh, beautiful backdoor cut to Haley.
Boy, a good set play right off the bat. Backdoor to Haley. Excellent pass.
Langevin down. Whoa. Good for the goose, good for the gander. A little backdoor themselves. That was Doughton.
Well, with West Virginia's pressure, look for Rhode Island to do some backdoors. Executed beautifully just now.
And look down to Sheboy. It looked like a good pass. It looked like Oscar never found it. And so it'll be the first turnover for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, coach's decision. Osaboyan starting for Culver. I anticipate Culver playing quite a bit today, but he's not starting the ball game.
And Doughton will bring the ball up the floor this time around. Jermaine Harris, Langevin is open now, finds himself in trouble. Back to Russell with 12 on the shot clock. Langevin takes it to the basket, dumps it off for Harris. Harris, no good. Challenged on the shot, rebound to Osaboyan.
Good execution by Rhode Island, just couldn't get the shot to drop. Rhode Island's primarily a man-to-man team, but they will mix it up and play some zone.
Shot by McCabe off the mark. Martin with the rebound. This is Fats Russell. And Russell will pull up. And you see a lot of mid-range jump shots out of this Rhode Island team as Russell knocks that one down.
Well, I tell you what, he's worth the price of admission. This young man can really play.
The pass off the fingertips of one of the Mountaineers, and the second turnover for them as you take a look at this shot by Russell.
The one thing that Russell can do is create his own. If things break down in the Rhode Island offense, boy, he and Doughton both are really good at creating and getting a shot off.
Co-A10 player of the week, averaging 24 a game last week. Matthews the rebound on the Harris miss. Haley to the basket. Matthews. McCabe thought about it. Osaboyan dumps down. Nice pass to Sheboy. In and out. Rebound to Haley. Good offensive rebound by Jermaine Haley.
Yeah, but Haley's done that quite a bit this year. You'll see him sneak in and get those offensive rebounds. He and Matthews both do a good job of that.
Doughton down to Langevin, and Langevin had it deflected, it looked like, on the way to the basket. No foul called. Haley pulls it away for the Mountaineers. Takes it to the basket and converts.
Nice take by Haley. Haley seems to know when it's time for him to do something for the ball club.
Fats Russell will draw a foul on Jordan McCabe.
Foul whistled on number 5, Jordan McCabe. His first.
Not a good job by Rhode Island stopping the basketball, and Haley knew what to do with it once he got inside.
By the way, in case you're wondering, this pace is to the liking of David Cox. He wants to see his Rhode Island team push it, says they will here. He's also looking for a better performance. They do have the upset victory over Alabama, but losses to LSU and Maryland in which he felt like his team could have played better. Russell has it batted away on the pass. Ahead to Matthews for the Mountaineers. Spins, lost control, and Russell back with it for Rhode Island. Third turnover for the Mountaineers already.
That's a tough situation for Matthews. He really had nothing to do other than throw it back in.
Russell tried to dump it down to Langevin. Thought he had a lane, but batted away. It will still be Rhode Island basketball as we see our first substitution. Dana Tate in for Harris. There's Bob Huggins, the legendary coach, and David Cox talked to him about his relationship with Mike Tomlin. Said he knew Mike's older brother, Eric Tomlin, first before becoming acquainted with the Steelers head coach, who was a receiver on the William & Mary basketball team, or football team, I beg your pardon. Ball out of bounds, another turnover. Cox, of course, playing basketball for William & Mary.
Yep. Well, one thing David Cox was very concerned about was the pressure and the physicality that West Virginia were going to do, and you could see that creating a turnover. He said, I want to see how my guys are when they're challenged physically to see whether or not they will stand up to West Virginia.
3 minutes in, and Russell, who's in excellent shape, had his hands on his hips a little bit as we see the fourth turnover for West Virginia. And a foul called subsequently, but this is not a deep Rhode Island team.
No, it is not.
And I'm sure West Virginia will try to pressure Doughton and Russell as much as they possibly can, because they really don't have guys that can come in off the bench and spell those two.
No, West Virginia definitely wants to, but Rhode Island's used to having those guys play those type of minutes. Whether they've played in a game quite this physical and as many different people as West Virginia will run at them, you don't know.
Here's Tate trying to take Osabuoyen, and Osabuoyen takes it right away from him. Up to Haley, and Haley on the nice feed from McCabe to finish.
Boy, give McCabe a lot of credit. Had his head up the whole time and caught Haley in stride.
Langevin to a cutting Doughton, and challenged by Haley, couldn't convert.
Boy, good look by Doughton, just couldn't finish.
Couple layups that they've missed. Osabuoyen tries to take it strong. Dump down to Rhode, has it blocked by Langevin. Here's Fats Russell one-on-one. Ooh, nice conversion by Fats Russell.
The body control. Wow. McCabe had pretty good position on him just now, but that was just an excellent play.
Gabe thought about it. Now here's Matthews, 12 in the shot clock. His first shot of the game is good. A three-pointer for Emmett Matthews Jr.
Saw early on this year Matthews being able to knock down that outside shot. He wants to get back in that rhythm again.
Shooting 46% from three-point range. Langevin takes it to Logan Rhode, and the left-handed layup. Nice move by Cyril Langevin.
You were exactly right when you said taking it to Logan Rhode. He did. He put his head down and was not going to be denied.
Logan Rhode tries to answer the other way, and off the mark, Langevin with the rebound.
David Cox really wanted to see Langevin physical. Boy, in West Virginia slow getting back.
Oh, pretty feed from Russell to Dana Tate. And the sophomore, former ESPN four-star recruit, hammers it home. Osabuoyen looking, not much help. Goes out on the perimeter to Haley. 12 on the shot clock. Rhode has it knocked away by Langevin. Fifth turnover, and Langevin with a finish.
That's just a sloppy play by Rhode just now. He's got to take better care of the basketball, be stronger with it.
Rhode Island up one.
David Cox wanted Langevin very aggressive, and we've seen him be that early on.
Osabuoyen turns the corner, takes it in, and is fouled hard as he takes it to the basket. So we expected a good one. So far it has been a good one. Rhode Island leading West Virginia by the score of 12-11. 8 early points for Jermaine Haley. On the other end, a couple of dunks for the Rhode Island Rams, who are up by 1. Rhode Island leading West Virginia 12-11, 13:40 remaining in the first half. And how about the work of Jermaine Haley early on, Big?
Jermaine Haley, 4 for 4 out of the gate. I give these points to awareness. Him looking around, knowing exactly what the situation is, knowing he can get to the hole right here. He gets the offensive rebound. The only thing he hasn't done yet is hit a three, and I certainly won't be surprised when that happens.
Well, Evan Matthews Jr. has the other 3 points on a three-pointer for West Virginia, so he has 8 of their 11, 4 for 4 from the floor as he takes seat substitutions for the Mountaineers. And Osabuoyen will go to the free throw line. Derek Culver has checked in for the first time, along with Deuce McBride and Taz Sherman.
Deuce McBride and Taz Sherman. Checking in for Rhode Island, Jermaine Harris. At the line for West Virginia, Gabe Osabuoyen.
So Osabuoyen will get a chance to shoot a couple of free throws. And misses the first. This is our first look during the broadcast that we saw him play. I'm sure we've both seen him play on TV a couple of times, but the Arkansas transfer getting his first action on our air. And that somehow goes in, that second free throw. So you take it 1 out of 2 in a 12-12 game.
And Bob Huggins will tell you, Osabuoyen is still has a large learning curve. I mean, he's still trying to figure out, even though he had been practicing, he had not been cleared to play, so he didn't get the number of reps in practice that everyone else was getting.
Russell being guarded by Deuce McBride. This is Martin. Tyrese Martin's jump shot is short, and Matthews soars for the rebound. Down to Derek Culver, lost the handle. Harris couldn't corral, and it'll be West Virginia basketball.
Well, West Virginia has had some awful sloppy passes here early on in the ball game.
That's not going to make that man very happy.
No, it certainly is not. One thing Bob Huggins always says, if you're going to have a turnover, throw it in the stands so we can get back. Don't give it to him on the court and let him fast break. hit the popcorn vendor.
Rhode Island foul call to number 0.
I'm not sure what they're gesturing over to the West Virginia bench. I'm not exactly sure what's happened here.
Chase Harler.
They're bringing Harler in. I don't think they're going to let him play with 6, so somebody's got to come off the floor here for West Virginia.
Yeah, new rule, only 5 this year.
Yeah, that was unusual. They were gesturing over for a substitution. All right. Culver setting up on Harris. Culver spin move, jump hook, beautiful by Derek Culver. Oh, is that pretty?
Footwork is getting better and better.
And he gets a piece of that on the Doughton shot. Batted out of bounds, it'll be West Virginia basketball, so Culver should be credited with a block there. He's got a piece of that one.
One thing that I like about Culver's basket here, he didn't get too low. He left himself a good angle to get that shot up.
Sure, you have to work on that too, the quick footwork, but then you got to gather yourself before the shot goes up as well. Tate thinking about it. Long three-pointer, too long. Rebound to Culver on the good box out on Harris. Bride tried to turn the corner on Russell, who's a good defender. Both he and Doughton, excellent defenders as well for Rhode Island. And Matthews tries to take it in. Tate is going to be charged with a foul.
Good aggressive play by Matthews.
That's his first, team's third. Emmett Matthews.
Again, West Virginia is going to try to get into the bench of Rhode Island. They're not that deep. They play 7, 8 players. At some point in time, you know, that may take its toll on those guys. You know, each time you look up, there's a different guy in your face that's come off the bench.
And here's Toppin now. Our first look at Jacob Toppin, a freshman that they're very high on. Still a freshman, but they think he's going to be a good one. Obi Toppin, his brother at Dayton, kind of burst out of nowhere, had an outstanding freshman season a year ago. And Matthews hits the second. Mountaineers lead is 4.
And West Virginia with a little full court man-to-man. Fats Russell is going to see a lot of different faces on him today.
That's one way to try to wear him down.
Yes, it is.
There's Harris and has it blocked from behind, but right there is Toppin, the freshman, with a follow-up jam.
What good block by Emmett Matthews.
Taz Sherman looking for some room into Chase Harler. Harler lost the handle.
Chase dribbled right into traffic just now. Got tied up and lost the ball.
6th turnover already for West Virginia. Langevin backdoor cut to Harris. The pump fake. Harris looking, and boy, Matthews comes over to help out defensively. Now ahead to Sherman. Sherman will pull up. 3-point range. Too strong. And it goes over the backboard. It will be Rhode Island basketball. So Sherman, they talked about him in the preseason as being the best shooter for the Mountaineers. Couldn't get that one to go. The Mountaineers leading the Rhode Island Rams 16-14.
Very close ball game here with 11-13 remaining. 2-point Mountaineer lead on Robbie Ince-Mikowski. As you heard Robin Warren mention in the open, the Mountaineers took home the title in the Cancun Classic. It started with 2 games here in Morgantown and finished with 2 very huge wins against Northern Iowa and Wichita State. The key game was a Northern Iowa game. It was a 5-point win, but it included a 15-point comeback, which was the largest since they trailed Missouri by 16 points back in November of 2017. Oscar Shibwe led the way in the game against Wichita State. That was a 12-point victory against a very good team. Shibwe finished with 19 and 18. Wearing the hat, Shibwe taking home a little extra hardware for the flight home. And as you can see, they're rolling along right now with a 2-point lead against Rhode Island. But 2 very good teams, and Bob Huggins will hear more about this at halftime, talk about, hey, we're getting on the map. People are recognizing us once again nationally with those 2 performances, guys.
Yeah, led by the 2 freshmen, Robbie, as well. Thanks very much. As McBride, we talked about it, just took over in the second half. They were down 15, and in their last 33 points, he scored 14 of them. Just absolutely took the game over. There were big shots by Matthews and Harler, but then in the championship game, Shibwe, another one of his outstanding efforts.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's going to be, especially with the freshmen, you never know what you're going to get from night to night, but West Virginia's got some really good, talented young guys.
Chase Harler looking for a cutter. Now goes out to Shibwe. Here's Derek Culver. Culver a little too far out. He'll go back to Sherman. Taz Sherman. 7 on the shot clock. Pulls up and hits. Taz Sherman, 4th leading scorer in junior college last year, averaging nearly 26 points per game.
Bob Huggins said needed to get him going good. He started out shooting the ball well at the beginning of the year and it tailed off.
Oh, Fats Russell, pretty move.
Now here's a guy that just you think he can, anytime he wants to score, he can probably get something up.
Ride kind of awkward there. Martin ahead to Russell. Russell goes high off glass and batted out of bounds by Shibwe. It'll be Rhode Island basketball. Nice job by Harder to come back and challenge that shot by Russell.
Checking in for Rhode Island.
I think David Cox wanted a goaltend ball on the rim. Let's see what happens here. Russell gets it up. Yeah, really couldn't see from that angle who touched the ball. Maybe here.
No, that's not. That's ball's off the rim. And West Virginia up 18-16, 10:29 remaining here in the first half. Inbounded to Harris. He'll hand off to Downey. In the corner, Toppin 3-pointer, and the freshman hits.
Wow.
And Rhode Island has a 1-point lead.
David Cox said that they need a signature win. Now, they did beat Alabama. Alabama's not having that good year against a Power 5 conference team, he said. They lost to Maryland and LSU. He said this was the opportunity for them to showcase something. Well, they're playing well here early.
Here's Culver, and Culver challenged and fouled. See if that's on Harris. That would be a second on him. Nope, it's on Toppin.
That's his first.
So David Cox, I'm sure, happy about that. And the 73-55 loss to Maryland. That's a game they were winning handily in the first half. And then Alabama, another a nice victory for them. LSU was a close game. They lost by double digits, but it was close. So you're looking for a win that's going to kind of put them on the map a little bit. He's got some help coming as well. Antoine Walker, a transfer from Georgetown, will be joining the team. He's going to be eligible on the 21st against Western Kentucky, so that's when they'll get Walker, who will really help their front court. They were hoping to get Jeremy Shepard, a former East Carolina star, but not eligible, so he won't play till next season. So the backcourt's going to be a little thin for Rhode Island, but they're going to be an interesting team in the A-10 as we see Doughton pull up his shot off the mark, Culver the rebound.
Culver doing an excellent job of boxing out on the boards.
Here's Sherman. Ooh. Boy, right on target, caught the front of the rim, the back of the rim wouldn't go. Russell crossover, tough shot by Fats Russell, rebound to Shibwe.
Well, he elevates so quick. He got that ball off in a heartbeat.
A little taller, but kind of reminds you of Spud Webb, doesn't he? In the way he just got his springs around. Nice move by Culver.
You cannot afford to give Derek Culver the ball that close down. And if you do, you better shade him and make him go to his right. That little left-hand hook, he's got that thing flowing right now.
You were left-handed, right? Still are?
Yeah, if you want to call it that, yes.
I'm just wondering if that gave you an advantage against defenders who are so used to trying to push people to their left. There's Langevin. He's fouled as he goes up to the basket. So here's the move by Culver. You're so used to trying to force your guy to the left, right, aren't you?
Yes.
His second.
Right here.
Number 3.
He had pretty good position right there inside. Martin did, but he did not keep that position. I'm sorry, Harris. He did not keep that position right there and allowed Culver to go to the middle.
Second foul on Oscar Shibwe. Langevin misses the first, just a 55% free throw shooter.
Back in for the Mountaineers, checking in for Rhode Island, number 15.
Tate in for Harris and Osaboyan in for Shibwe.
And Oscar Shibwe from time to time early on, especially when they get into the Big 12, when he starts playing against more physical guys, that's going to happen with fouls. And this is probably the most physical team that West Virginia has played to this point.
Langevin the miss, and Culver soars for the rebound. Langevin misses both free throw attempts. McBride remaining in to run the point for the Mountaineers. Osaboyan, a pretty move by Gabe Osaboyan.
That was the footwork. He got a good wide base that time. Osaboyan had been being knocked off his feet because he was not wide enough. That time, not the case.
Nice on-time pass from Sherman as well. 6-0 West Virginia run. And Sherman bats it away. Now on the run, goes to McBride. Three-pointer on the way. Ooh, too strong for McBride. Osaboyan the rebound. Sherman will try from two-point range. This one's short. Gets the rebound back. McBride will try it again and again. Too strong. McNeil, I beg your pardon. McNeil shooting those three-pointers on McBride, but great job chasing those balls down for the Mountaineers. So Sean McNeil, who's checked into the game, I beg your pardon.
The two guys that you really want knocking those shots down had good looks, but couldn't get them.
Well, Doughton had the open three on the pass from Russell, but wound up traveling. 5th turnover for Rhode Island, and the Mountaineers have pulled ahead by 5, 24-19. Now the Mountaineers looking to improve to 7-0 on the season, off to an excellent start. Obviously, they face another big challenge here against the Rhode Island Rams at the WVU Coliseum in West Virginia, holding Rhode Island scoreless over the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds, able to pull out to a 24-19 victory. And a lot of, hey, this is the season, right? You bring the family down, you come watch the game. West Virginia, Rhode Island, we have an excellent crowd on hand. About 11,000 or so expected here at the Coliseum today.
Good Thanksgiving weekend crowd. You know, Derek Culver has started the game with his engine really roaring. I don't know if being, having to sit early on, but he has come out with a lot of energy.
6 points, 3 rebounds. He Mountaineers have doubled up Rhode Island 14-7 in the rebound column, and the Rams now coming out of this timeout. I thought they were in a zone. They're going to stay in the man-to-man. By the way, Fats Russell has not sat out even 1 second of this game. Remains on the floor guarding Deuce McBride.
Well, with McNeil missing a shot and Sherman missing, I thought that Rhode Island might come out in the zone and pack it back in on the big guys inside.
Culver had it pulled away, but Mekhi Long, who's checked in for Rhode Island, was standing out of bounds. So 4 seconds left for Rhode Island as they will inbound.
Derek Culver made a mistake of bringing the ball down around his ankles or his knees there, and that caused the tie-up. Fortunately for West Virginia, the Rhode Island player was out of bounds.
And McNeil gets the three-pointer. I believe that might have gone in off glass. I'm not positive, which is tough to do from that angle.
Yeah, certainly. Well, how could you forget about McNeil standing in the corner on an out-of-bounds play?
Yep, that was way too easy. The miss and then the follow-up. That's Long, who just checked into the game.
Basket by Long.
McBride will pull up, and Deuce McBride playing with such confidence. Bake, it really seems to me like as a freshman, he's not trying to force things. He's letting the game come to him.
He is. Yeah, he's not really trying to force things. Even in the big comeback against Northern Iowa, he wasn't forcing anything. It was just available for him, and he was taking the good shot.
He's not forcing it, but he wasn't afraid to take it.
No, he wasn't afraid.
He took the game over.
You don't want a guy afraid to take it. You want somebody with confidence. One thing about McBride, he's just not used to losing. He's got that mentality where he's not going to get beat.
Well, you think about it, right? He led Archbishop Moeller, his high school team, to an unbeaten championship a year ago. Now he's 6-0 in his West Virginia career. There's Langevin trying to go to work off the mark. Rebound is tracked down, and Doughton, it is going to be off of him, and it will be West Virginia basketball looking to improve on an 11-2 run. The Mountaineers up on David Cox's Rhode Island Rams, up now by 8. Right hands off to Haley.
Yeah, West Virginia is trying to get that ball inside.
There's the angle. Get it into Culver. Culver spins to the middle, now back to the baseline, and fouled by Long as he tries to go up for the shot.
And as you saw that time, a double team came over on Culver, would not let him go to the middle. Watch him shut the middle off, forcing him back. And Culver really had a bad ankle. Fortunately, he fouled on the shot. But that's what you have to do. You can't let him get in there where he can spin both ways.
Now, we saw in the first game in that championship series, Northern Iowa doubling down on the post constantly, and West Virginia just could not figure out how to beat that. So they were getting it down on the post. As a low post guy, what do you need to do there when you're getting doubled down on the post?
Well, Derek Culver has done a much better job this year of recognizing the double team. Culver is the best big passing man that West Virginia has this time. It's still a work in progress for Oscar, but you've got to recognize and get it out, and the spacing on the floor has to be good. If you got two bigs, you can't have those guys too close together inside.
Culver hits both, so the other players around him have to realize that the double team is there and present themselves as open.
And get in the position to shoot the basketball, yes.
13-2 run now as Culver hits them both. Mountaineers up by 10. Martin, three-point attempt, and rattles around, hits the backboard, and goes in. A three-pointer for Tyrese Martin. And we have a timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout called by Rhode Island.
Where the closeout, assistant coach Larry Harris not happy with Jermaine Haley's closeout on that shot just now. Now he rattled around and went down, but he didn't think that he contested the shot enough. And these guys shoot the ball well enough that if you leave them open, they'll knock down enough. And I think that was a good timeout by David Cox. The game had gotten away, it gotten up to 8-9 points. He sees it now, guys. Let's regroup. We got 5:24 left. Let's make sure we keep this thing in range here.
By the way, Martin, maybe a little overlooked. You have Langevin averaging a double-double. We've talked a lot about Russell and Doughton, but Martin's a guy, 38% three-point shooter, averaging almost 11 points per game. So he's a guy that needs to be factored in defensively as well.
And that's why you have the scouting reports to see. A little 1-2-2 token pressure by Rhode Island. So they are going to go zone now. McNeil comes into the ball game, so look for him to try to shake loose here.
McNeil and Sherman, the two guys that they hope will improve their outside shooting from a season ago. Osabuoyen hands off to Matthews, and Matthews, you talked about three-point shooting. This guy has been unbelievable from beyond the stripe. Came in 46% from three-point range and has hit a couple here today.
Rhode Island started in the 1-2-2 full court or token pressure, and then went to man-to-man.
Well, Martin turned the corner, lost his footing. Here comes Matthews now, looking for help. Has it with Culver, blocked by Toppin. Ooh, the freshman soaring from behind to block that shot. Now Doughton will go back to Toppin, trying to hit a three-pointer off the mark, and Culver in trail has the rebound.
Boy, and it has been physical inside.
Ahead to Osabuoyen. Tries to turn the corner. Man, oh man. Some high elbows there. And then get him. We're going to get Doughton, I think, for the hold. But I get the sense that Osabuoyen might need to be careful with the way some of those elbows were swinging around. Big here.
Thank goodness he did not make contact. If he makes contact and somebody goes down, they're going to call a foul, a technical foul on it, a flagrant foul.
Inbounded to Culver. Culver spins one way, comes back the other, high off glass and hits. Another pretty move by Culver. Culver, the first player in double digits with 10. Spinning move by Toppin, and the dunk attempt by Martin off the mark. And Matthews will finish for the Mountaineers.
Boy, Matthews able to slither through.
Russell will try from three-point range, and he will quickly hit to Rhode Island back the other way.
Somebody has to find Fats Russell. That's all it is, Stuart. You cannot allow him to roam up and down the court free like that. He's just too good.
Here's Matthews. This three-pointer off the mark. Rebound to Culver. Well, Harris took an inadvertent hand in the face. And McCabe will pull it back out. By the way, Matthews joining Culver with 10 points now. Osabuoyen, three-point range. That is no good. And Fats Russell the rebound.
They will give Gabe Osabuoyen that shot all afternoon.
Russell high off glass, and a nice follow by Jermaine Harris.
Basket by Harris.
Still kind of wincing a little bit.
Yeah, he is. Got that poke in the eye.
McCabe pulls up. McCabe's
not a good shot.
Yeah, well off the mark.
Not a good shot at all.
Deuce McBride off the bench in a hurry, summoned by Bob Huggins. So 4 Mountaineers at the scoring table, ready to check in.
You better be shooting a high percentage if you come down and no one else touches the ball and you shoot it.
Doughton spins. And
Culver with yet another rebound.
Yeah, Culver really padding the stats. 10.6 rebounds for Culver. Now inside for Culver and give him 12 points. However, on the other end, Harris, he was trying to gesture up to Osabuoyen. Culver gassed.
Yeah, he was.
And Osabuoyen commits the foul. So a couple of free throws for Rhode Island when we return. In the meantime, Matthews, one of a pair of Mountaineers in double figures, are up by 11. The Mountaineers leading Rhode Island 40-29. Bob Huggins has his team circled up, and you can see right in the middle of that circle, Emmett Matthews Jr., who has 10 quick points here for West Virginia.
Everything looks so smooth and so fluid with Emmett. I mean, he's really worked on his outside shot. And the one thing that teams are going to struggle with him shooting the ball from the perimeter like that, if they run out there on him, he's going to blow right by him and get to the basket. And when he goes back, a lot of times he's planning on dunking it on you. So that's getting that complete package. He's growing up and looking more and more like Jermaine Haley, the way he relaxes when he plays.
Well, Haley, obviously we saw him get off to the fast start. Matthews and Culver have picked it up. And let's not forget, when we talk about the heroics in that game against Northern Iowa, the big comeback, it was Matthews who had the go-ahead basket on a follow-up rebound. So
yes,
not to be forgotten in that team-led comeback, although McBride really right in the thick of that win over Northern Iowa. There's Harris, and he will miss the first free throw. Came in as a 64% free throw shooter on the season.
David Cox, again, wanting to see his ball club make a little run here in this last 2-11. Make sure you keep this thing in single digits.
Harris hits the second. Rhode Island is 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Harris will check out, and Langevin will check in for Rhode Island.
Again, the 1-2-2 pressure. The last time, Rhode Island dropped back out of this into a man-to-man. Let's see what they do this time.
First time we've seen Brandon Napper. He's in the backcourt along with Deuce McBride.
Now they are staying in a 1-2-2 zone, so West Virginia needs to get that zone offense set. Good look. That's a perfect place right at that free throw line.
They skip out to McBride for the open 3 off the mark. Martin the rebound.
The way Sean McNeil shoots the basketball, you wonder whether they would have stayed in that zone had McNeil been on the court for West Virginia.
Here's Russell, out with a block, and Langevin tried to bang it off one of the West Virginia players, could not. Mountaineers with numbers. The kick, McBride thought about it, and now instead goes to Matthews. Blocked, gets it back, and they're going to call a jump ball. Langevin doing an excellent job. It'll be Rhode Island basketball.
I'm not so sure. Fans don't like the call, but I think it was a pretty good call. That was an all block there. He comes down with that basketball. The official is going to call that jump ball.
Langevin, you can see, pleading for a call instantly. West Virginia showing some pressure now. That's Russell gets the handoff from Tyrese Martin.
That's Russell looking at the third different defender.
Right, exactly. Russell almost lost the handle, got it back, and now drives. Will draw the foul. No basket. Russell gets the 6th foul on West Virginia.
His first team foul, number 6. Derek Culver checks back in for the Mountaineers.
Yep, that quick step. Able to split the 2 players, pick up the foul. Rhode Island not in the bonus yet, shooting yet, so.
See Fat Russell, Fat's with the hands and the knees. By the way, not fat, obviously, but his mom gave him that nickname. He was a chubby baby. Missed that one. Haley the rebound.
Poor good box out by Deuce McBride.
Here's Matthews. Oh, take. Chest to chest with Langevin able to finish. Lead up to 12.
Just never know who's going to step up for West Virginia.
Doughton, Russell, corner, 3, good for Fats Russell.
And if you're guarding Fats Russell, you shouldn't have any help responsibilities. If he goes outside, you go with him. You don't slough off and help.
Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Second differential. Culver will try it from the 3-throw line, and Matthews right there to clean things up.
Problem you have when you're in the zone, you don't have responsibilities of blocking out.
And Doughton's shot off the mark at the end of the first half. So Matthews gets that rebound out of the zone to finish off an excellent first half for him. 14 points, Culver 12 points and 7 rebounds. The Mountaineers up by 11 as we go over to Robbie and Zbikowski.
Yeah, Bob, so late in that first half, you won a pretty nice run, 20-5, to create a little separation between yourself and Rhode Island. What led to that?
We finally threw it inside to Derek. I think Derek had 12 of those in that run. We got to throw the ball to him.
You know, when you talk about Derek, Gabe started. Derek comes in and picks up the slack. What kind of force can they be for your team down low?
It depends on the day, You're going to play the 2 best that day.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
All right, Rob and Warren.
Thanks very much. That will always should bring out the best in any competitor who wants to be on the floor. It was Osabayan getting the start, and it's been Culver who's been the star inside for the Mountaineers. Culver, 12.7 rebounds. West Virginia up 11. Halftime show coming up in the WB Coliseum in Morgantown next. One of the all-time greats in basketball history, Jerry West, the logo. West Virginia, his alma mater, leading Rhode Island 44-33. Lots of kids, lots of energy in the building, and a pretty good game going on as well. Fats Russell leading Rhode Island with 12 points, Bake.
Yeah, Fats Russell has 12, but the rest of the ball club is struggling a little bit to help him out. But you can't forget about Fats. He could turn that into 20-something very easy.
Russell, the leading scorer for the team on the season and in this game as well. And meanwhile, Emmett Matthews Jr., 14 points for West Virginia.
Yeah, Emmett Matthews Jr. and Derek Culver, especially the second part of the first half, really took over for West Virginia and gave them that needed offense that they had to have.
Culver did not start, did play 13 minutes, 12.7 rebounds for Derek Culver.
Yeah, Derek really came to play. You can tell a lot of times from the very beginning whether he's active or not. And again, that's the one thing that Bob Huggins is going to look for from the big guys is consistency.
So let's take a look at first half stats, and the Mountaineers shooting 50% from the floor. You'll take that all day. And the rebound margin, what we expected.
Yeah, West Virginia 21-15, but that field goal percentage, when you're shooting the type of shots that West Virginia is getting down low, that field goal percentage is going to look like that. You can see that by the points in the paint, 28. And then the bench points again, and as you said, Culver coming off with 12, that was huge.
Be interesting, too, to keep an eye on whether this is a war of attrition going on with Fats Russell. Plays a ton of minutes for Rhode Island. You talked about it early. We saw West Virginia throwing a lot of different defenders at Fats Russell, so he's always getting a fresh wave of defenders coming at him.
He certainly is. And the thing is, with Fats, even though there's been primary guys on him, McCabe has been on him, and 2 or 3 other guys have
Deuce
been on him.
McBride, Napper. Yep.
Napper. Yeah, but when he's in your area, he is your man. Because you're not the guy that's supposed to be guarding primarily, if he's in your area, you guard him.
Jermaine Haley inbounding just in front of us to get the second half started.
Rhode Island back in there man-to-man.
And the more accustomed starting 5 for the Mountaineers as Shibwe's in there, gets the dump down pass from Culver. And Shibwe will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair early for the Mountaineers.
Boy, a set play, that was a high-low. Get that ball in the Culver at the free throw line. Let's go down to Shibwe, see if he can get his motor started.
Shibwe ran into some early foul trouble. Only played 6 minutes in that first half. Did not score. Still was not scored. 2 rebounds, 2 personal fouls in those 6 minutes.
Oscar will learn as time goes on. You come out of the ball game because of foul trouble. You come back in. You still have to have your same intensity. I'm not saying that he does it now, but that's something that you learn as you go through.
Well, when he's been in the game and not been in foul trouble, he's been a dominant force.
Yes, he has.
It's still some things to learn at the collegiate level, especially for a guy who hasn't played basketball that long. And Langevin, nice job by Culver, standing his ground, moving his feet, and getting the travel call. 7th turnover by Rhode Island.
Langevin just made up his mind he was going to go. He got too anxious. They wanted to prove something to Culver. Culver stood his ground, did a nice job.
There's Culver. Maybe they're trying to get another down low play for Shibwe. Instead, Matthews with the attempt. 3 white shirts going up for that, and Shibwe has it blocked. There's Matthews off the mark. And Martin will rebound for Rhode Island.
Well, West Virginia didn't get that to go down, but I think Bob Huggins will take that about any time. West Virginia's going to finish most of those.
Here's Fats Russell and a chance for a 3-point play as he's fouled, taking it to the basket.
What body control. He got a good bump from McCabe, which kind of knocked him away from the basket. Still able to get that ball up on the board. Yeah, he was floating away from the basket when he let that ball go.
The Rams 1 shot.
Yeah, much harder shot than he made that look. 88% free throw shooter. And Fats gets it back to single digits for Rhode Island, down 9, 45-36. David Cox, his second year as the Rhode Island head coach. Culver looking up.
Little high-low action.
Kick to the corner. McCabe, open three, no good.
Boy, excellent look by Culver. That's a shot McCabe really needs to hit.
And McCabe will swat that away on the shot up by Russell. You mentioned that Culver, the nice pass down to Matthews. Matthews back to Culver. Culver finds a man in a corner. And you said he is the best passing big man that West Virginia has.
And Oscar Sheboy just hadn't had to do that much, and it's going to come.
Sheboy lucky he didn't pick up his third there. 15 in the shot clock. Fats Russell trying to go to work. Will pull up three-pointer. It's good for Fats Russell. He is feeling it. He has 18 points for Rhode Island. And McCabe back the other way into Culver, spins. Maybe just a little too far for that jump hook.
Out of his range that time.
And here's Martin. Can't finish. Toppin. Oh, man, a chance for a rebound follow-up from point-blank range for Toppin. Instead, Matthews the rebound, and the lead remains 6.
Yeah, boy, I would have trimmed it to 4.
Right in for McCabe.
No hesitation by Fats Russell. I mean, the guy has confidence from anywhere on the floor.
Really sized McCabe up, got him to back off a little, and pulled it quickly.
Well, you know, when you drive on him the time before and make it a three-point play out of it.
Culver the jump hook, rattles out. Harris the rebound. Chance again for Rhode Island to cut into that lead. Now McBride out on Russell.
West Virginia really trying to find Fats Russell, and that time Russell just lost the ball. And he's going to have those type of turnovers from time to time, but what he gives you when he doesn't, you know, have those type of turnovers, it's just, you're not going to get on him about something like that. He's just too good of a player.
Yeah, David Cox really likes his junior point guard, his senior Doughton next to him. A really, really fine backcourt for Rhode Island. Haven't seen much of Doughton here in this game. Here's Culver trying to go to work. Jump hook is short, Toppin the rebound. Culver thought he was fouled.
Well, they're doing a much better job of forcing.
Oh, what a block by Sheboy, but the follow there by Martin.
Basket by Martin.
Haley back the other way, and Toppin blocks that, but came down on top of Haley, who is now reaching for his lower back. Well, Toppin is an explosive leaper and showed it there, but came down right on top of Haley.
His third.
West Virginia is having a little trouble now. What they need to do is make sure when that shot goes up by one of the bigs in the side, everybody else gets back. Rhode Island's really trying to push the ball and beat the Mountaineers down the floor.
3-minute scoring drought for the Mountaineers that Haley will look to end here. And hits the first. 57% free throw shooter on the year, averaging just over 11 points per game.
And Deuce McBride out there on Fats Russell. Just make him work to get everything. He's going to score. You're not going to stop him.
Haley hits them both. Part of that battle of attrition the Mountaineers and Bob Huggins are waging against Fats Russell in this game. Langevin hands off to Fats Russell. Russell tries to turn the corner. Difficult shot.
Teardrop.
With a double team coming over. Fats Russell.
What Fats does, he gets up so quick when he shoots the basketball. When he leaves the floor, he gets up so quick.
Derek Culver gets that jump hook to go, and the nice feed from Sheboy.
Yeah, excellent feed from Sheboy.
Russell moves to his left, and Fats Russell.
It is the Fats Russell show right now.
Back over the top of his head.
Wow. What a highlight reel he's putting on here early in the second half. That's his 22nd point. I'm telling you, He has got this ball club on his back right now.
4-point lead for the Mountaineers. McBride looks down to Culver.
There's the double team. Culver has to realize that.
Now they've left. He squares up, goes back to the jump hook, and a chance for a 3-point play. So it's Russell on one end and Culver on the other for the Mountaineers, who have a 6-point lead. 15:35 remaining in the second half, and Fats Russell appears to be limping following one of these moves to the basket. Russell has 22. Well, Devon, Fats Russell having himself a terrific afternoon against the Mountaineers with 22 points.
Boy, he just knows what he wants to do with the basketball. He sets the defender up so well. You see him, he was setting up Jordan McCabe the whole time. And then how quickly he got off the floor to get that teardrop over everybody. I'm going to shoot it before you get there to block it.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Very, very competitive young man. 19.5 points, 3.5 rebounds per game for Fats Russell, who is generously listed at 5'10", and
yes,
5 assists a game, just doing it all, and kind of walking. There he is. Looks a little ginger, or no? You're saying that's just
well, but right at the beginning of the timeout, he was kind of limping over. It'll be interesting to watch him as the year goes on, and whether or not his production drops. I can't imagine a little guy taking the beating like he does and playing the minutes that he does, that he will be able to, sustain that. But, he's got that perfect attitude to do it.
And Culver, not the prettiest free throw, but it does go down. He has 17 points to go with his 7 rebounds.
Defensive switch now. Haley is on. They're putting a taller man on it.
Russell will pull from 3-point range off the mark. Sheboy the rebound, and you wonder if maybe he's just trying to test that ankle and see whether he can go off the dribble.
Well, Jermaine Haley will make him work a little bit more for no other reason than the height advantage that he has.
Into Culver. Double team comes. Culver dumped down to Sheboy, and that was a really nice feed, but Sheboy had it stripped away. 7 turnover for the Mountaineers. There's Harris, and Harris will be called for the walk.
2 inches to try to get something done. Yeah, Bob Huggins is saying, that pass was right there, but it was a little too low for him. And so I tell you, this is going to be a work in progress all year with the big guys feeling out each other and learning to play together.
Well, if they can do that, though, Bake, my goodness, 2 absolute forces down low, potentially for the Mountaineers come Big 12 conference play. Much less effective if it's one guy having a big game than another guy having a big game. Sheboy has it blocked away. Another turnover, though, as Rhode Island tried to run into Culver. A lot of contact, no call. Culver now will get fouled as he follows things up, and the foul is going to be called on Jacob Toppin, the freshman.
West Virginia is struggling to get some of these shots to go down inside, but you keep pounding and pounding and pounding like that, it takes its toll on that defense. They're going to foul you, or eventually you're going to start making them.
And Toppin, that will be his 4th personal, so he is waiting for this free throw. Now he will head to the bench.
Gabe Osaboyan checks in for the Mountaineers.
White will check in. Osaboyan in for Sheboy. And Doughton back on the floor for Rhode Island. So the Mountaineers have fended off Rhode Island at this point of the game. The Rams had cut the lead to 4. Now a chance to get it back up to 9 for Culver.
And Osaboyan coming in right now for Sheboy. Offensively, he's not there yet, but he brings another big physical presence inside.
We talked about this with Culver, too, the fact that a lot of teams, it's hard to keep the big guy out on the floor. You want to have him out there, but if he can't shoot free throws, well, Culver's a 78% free throw shooter.
What a change from last year.
This is Langevin, and Langevin tries to go up left-handed. Osaboyan flies in for the rebound.
And took that contact. That's the strength of Osaboyan, and that would have knocked a lot of people down.
Fats Russell bats it away, and now Fats on the other end for Rhode Island will lay it in. So he strips Haley and takes it in, and the lead is back down to 7.
Yeah, West Virginia put Haley on Fats to try to slow him. Then Fats says, well, you know what, I just picked your pocket. Well, that was a clear out for Haley.
Doughton
Rhode Island foul whistle for the
hold there, and here's the play.
Well, when you're as tall as Haley, that ball's going to come a little higher. You got a little guy like that, he can pump it away. And he did that and laid it in.
Haley tries to
Now to clear out again.
The shot off the mark, but Haley gets the rebound back. Doughton tried to strip it, goes out to McNeil instead. Here's Culver at the free throw line, and he hits. So Derek Culver really feeling it. 21 points, 2 off his career high, which he had last year against Texas Tech.
Well, if you're shooting free throws like that, I won't mind him shooting that ball from the free throw line.
Now Culver reaches across, gets his hand on it on the floor. It's going to be out of bounds off Derek Culver, but an effort that the crowd here at the Coliseum is loving.
And Bob Huggins applauding, and takes a lot for Hugs to get a lot of hands together. Yep. He's been shooting the free throws well, so go ahead and hit it. Love seeing him dive on the floor for that ball.
Shades of a younger Warren Baker out there, leaving it all on the floor.
Yeah, sometimes.
They got to be impressed by what Culver's done here coming off the bench. 21 and 8 for him. Doughton with McNeil on him. Pull back three-pointer. That is tough. They're going to call that a 2. Doughton's foot was on the line.
And sometimes good players just make great plays. That was not bad defense that time by McNeil.
Doughton really hasn't gotten going here. Culver to McNeil. McNeil steps into the 3, no good. Martin soars for the rebound. And Martin will push. And Martin will go to the free throw line.
Bob Huggins said he wanted to walk. Call did not get the call.
Well, something happened to Sean McNeil, and he's trying to walk it off.
At the line for the Rams, Tyrese Martin.
Hard to tell what it was, but he's bent over in an obvious discomfort. Martin hits the first free throw. McNeil will go to the bench. McBride will come in for him.
Checks back in for the Mountaineers.
Martin, an 80% free throw shooter on the season. And Rhode Island still just hanging around. They won't go away, and the lead is down to 5. And what we expected. This is a very, very solid Rhode Island team. A very experienced Rhode Island team as well. Osaboyan directing traffic.
There comes a double team.
And Culver tried to bounce it down to Osaboyan, and now is going to be called for a carry. So a turnover here. It's the 9th for the Mountaineers, and the Rams hanging around within distance of Bob Huggins' Mountaineers, 56-51.
Tight ball game here. 5 points separates. 5 points separate Rhode Island and West Virginia. So if you need a good gift idea, we have one right here for you. How about a Bob Huggins bobblehead? They're being sold on the concourse today, and if you're not at the game, obviously you're not watching this right now on television, you could order one online. Visit wvugift.com/ the rest of that too long for me to read right now. Now it's a little expensive for a bobblehead. $50, $48 I believe if you order it online after shipping, but $32 of that purchase goes to the Norma May Huggins Foundation. Norma May Huggins passed away in May of 2003 after a long battle with colon cancer. That was Bob Huggins' mother, and this is something he partnered with WVU Hospitals. Bob Huggins did to raise money for the foundation, which has done fantastic work over the years. Warren, I know you can attest to that. Let me ask you this, Warren, you know Bob Huggins as well as anyone in this business. Is there a better pose that could be made for a bobblehead for Bob Huggins than that one right there? That's at refs. What are you thinking? What are you doing right now?
I am going to not comment on that right now, Robbie. Hugs and I have already talked about this. I'm going to make some adjustments.
Martin, a three-pointer. The lead is down to 2.
Wow.
Just quickly again, we know Bob Huggins has a reputation as a tireless worker, as a recruiter, and as a coach. You can say the same thing about him with his mom's foundation and what he's done to raise money for cancer.
Unbelievable.
Flipped away, but Matthews hustling back to create another turnover. Now Culver tries to go to work on Russell. Osaboyan. Well off the mark, but Haley just all along for the rebound.
Osaboyan's going to say that was a pass. I should get an assist on that. Now, Hudson works tireless again, for his mother's foundation. It's unbelievable what he has done over the years.
4-point lead. Tate looking for Russell. Russell with Osaboyan on him, and the lead, Langevin, and Langevin high off glass. Pretty play by Russell.
Yep. When Russell drives like that, all eyes are on him, and he makes a smart move and dumps the ball off.
Well, he identified that he had Osaboyan on the switch. Now here's Culver. Culver, jump hook. It is good. Derek Culver tying his career high now with 23 points.
Well, why they continue to let Derek Culver go left, I do not know. Totally force him to go the other way.
Here's Doughton. Doughton will draw the foul.
Gabe Osaboyan called for personal. That's his second. Team foul number 3.
Get on the low side and force him back to the middle. If he's going to shoot it with that right hand, fine. And he's worked on his right hand, and he's gotten a lot better. But right now, if you're Rhode Island, you're saying, well, you know what? We can't stop this guy going left.
Foul on Osaboyan was a foul on the floor, so not a shooting foul. That's Russell trying to get the ball, and they're going to call Haley for a personal foul. There's the Bob Huggins pose. We just saw it. Red wide. He didn't care for that at all. There it is.
Yep, that's the Bob Huggins pose. See what they called here. Boy, it looks like that's a no call.
Yeah, that's tough. Russell turns the corner, pulls up and hits. Oh, fast Russell.
Yeah, goodness. Well, putting more height on him at this point really doesn't seem to slow him down.
26 points for Russell. A 2-point lead for the Mountaineers. Haley looking. They go to McBride. Skips back to Haley. Haley will pull up. Well off the mark. Rebound. Chased down by Doughton. Here's Doughton back the other way. And Doughton able to finish over 2 Mountaineers. And we are tied with 9:24 left in the second half.
Well, West Virginia's offense right now is sputtering a little bit, with the exception of getting the ball loaded Culver.
Well, it's a bit of a mystery why they're not kind of looking for that every time, because Culver has been almost automatic. Meanwhile, on the other end, Rhode Island has hit 6 of its last 6 field goal attempts.
Boy, out with a tough shot over McBride.
And now West Virginia wants a timeout, so Bob Huggins will use a timeout here. Rhode Island has roared back from their first half deficit, tied the game at 60 with 9:17 remaining. The Rhode Island Rams and West Virginia Mountaineers were tied at the 9:58 mark of the first half. After that point, West Virginia controlled the rest of the first half. They were up by 14 at one point, up at 11 at the half. But now in the second half, Rhode Island, thanks to Fats Russell, who has 26 points. There he is, Fats Russell. Come back to tie this game at 60 with 9:17 remaining.
Yeah, and West Virginia, you know, other than being able to go into Derek Culver, their offense is sort of stalled here. So West Virginia's going to have to find some more offense. They continue, now don't get me wrong, continue to throw it into Culver because they can't stop him right now. But I'm sure Rhode Island's have to do something to try to make sure that he doesn't continue to get the looks that he's getting.
Mountaineers inbound, they have the basketball.
And it's a 2-3 zone out of the timeout by Rhode Island.
Culver tries to dump it down. Sheboy is able to pick things up and lay things in.
Poor David Cox not happy. The one thing we got the deflection, got the loose ball. Ball cup could not get it.
Russell trying to go to work on McBride, who's extended the defense on Rhode Island's leading scorer.
Well, West Virginia tried Haley on it, but Fats Russell a little too quick for Haley.
Tate thought about the three-pointer. Now we'll hand off to Russell. 7 on the shot clock. Russell spins. Fats Russell tries to draw contact, throws it up off the board. Rebound by Sheboy.
Well, good job by McBride defensively.
Russell trying to draw a foul call, didn't get it. Mountaineers up 2. Culver to McBride in the corner. Sheboy fighting for position. McBride doesn't go there. Now he'll go to Culver. Culver squares up. Culver release, no good. Sheboy the rebound, and Oscar Sheboy the lay-in and the foul call. Much to the surprise of Dana Tate. Chance for a three-point play for Oscar Sheboy.
You have to start pushing Sheboy, if that is possible, out of that position. You cannot let a young man like that with his size and ability get that position inside for the offensive rebound. As soon as Derek Culver cocks that shot back to let it go, you need to get a body and start pushing Sheboy as much as you can.
Like you said, easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but you just can't stand there side by side and hope that you're going to out-rebound it or out-muscle it.
6.7 rebounds for Sheboy. You can see Tate surprised that the foul was called on him. Didn't look like there was much there. Now Langevin, and Langevin draws the foul call. He will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair, with Rhode Island now trailing West Virginia 65 to 60. 7:48 remaining in the second half.
There's a timeout on the court.
Bob Huggins and the West Virginia Mountaineers return to AT&T Sportsnet on Saturday, December 14th at 2 p.m. when they take on the Nichols Colonels out of the Southland Conference. It's all part of Wild and Wonderful Sports. It gets underway at 2 p.m. on AT&T Sportsnet. By the way, Nichols, not to be taken lightly, they beat Pitt earlier this season, 75-70. They took Illinois to overtime, 78-70, before the Illini were able to pull out a victory. And for West Virginia fans, you might want to check out former guard D'Angelo Hunter, who was here briefly, transferred, and now is finishing up his career at Nichols.
And Nichols comes out, and they'll play somebody really, really tough, and then they'll turn around and drop a game that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
They've done that all year, but if you overlook them, they're going to hang around and be right with you at the end.
Yeah, they seem to have gotten up for the big games on their schedule,
exactly.
and West Virginia will be a big game on their schedule for sure.
Cyril Langevin at the line for the
Cyril
Rams.
Langevin getting set to shoot a pair, 55% free throw shooter, trying to cut into a 5-point West Virginia lead. Now a 4-point West Virginia lead.
Oh, he didn't look like a 55% shooter just now.
No, it was a nice stroke.
Nice, smooth stroke.
And that one's no good, so 1 out of 2. Just under 55% baked, my quick math tells me. 4-point lead. Look at the points in the paint. Not, I think, what we expected, and not what you would think about, I think, with the way Culver's been playing. Now Culver drives, in trouble, has it stripped away. Nice job by Langevin.
Yeah, Langevin went and took away that total left side that time.
That's Russell. There's Tate, thought about it. And now he'll pull it, and Tate will hit it.
Knock it down.
Dana Tate. He was 1 for 13 from three-point range and knocked that one down as if he's been hitting them all year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Looked really good on that shot. Back to a 1-point ball game.
McBride pulls up. McBride too strong. Battle. Culver. Mountaineers come away with it, and Culver high off glass. A new career high 25 points for Derek Culver.
Boy, that's that physicality inside.
Doughton on the pull-up. Too strong. And the rebound to Culver. Doughton really hasn't gotten it going. Remember, averaging 15 points per game.
And nothing but Mountaineers on that defensive board just now.
McBride to Matthews, into Culver now. Culver will spin. He'll try the right hand. And the battle along the boards. Mountaineers soaring, but it is Langevin, a real battler. He comes away with the rebound. And Russell looking to go to work. And Fats Russell swallowed up inside as Sheboy and McBride were there, and then batted out of bounds off the hands of Tate. It'll be West Virginia basketball.
When David Cox pleading, saying, why couldn't we get a foul just now?
And continuing to plead.
Yes, he is.
Bob Huggins on the other end. There's David Cox.
Following Ray Natili all the way down the court.
Final word for the official. By the way, told us before the game, 2 of his brothers are referees, so he says he has a lot of respect for officials. Wanted to make sure he got his point across. Oh my, look at how condensed things are in the lane right now. Here's Matthews, lost a handle, out of bounds, 1 on the shot clock as it was knocked away by Doughton.
That's unselfish play by Jermaine Haley. He had a good look at a 3 before he passed that ball over. West Virginia now having to take a tough shot.
Oh my!
That should be 4 points.
Oh man, if you're Rhode Island, you did everything right on that trip. Now Russell quickly comes back and hits on the other end. Haley, wow, what a 3-pointer at a critical moment for West Virginia.
You know, if you come to practices sometime, you will see Jermaine Haley practicing these long-range shots just like this. And more times than enough, he has one of the managers in his face, and he shoots those.
What a shot by Jermaine Haley. Haley with 15 points, and the bench loved it.
Like I said, that should be 4 points. Oh, my. 1 second on the shot clock.
Well, he's one of those slow heartbeat kind of guys. He doesn't look like it's bothering him too much.
No.
You know, that doesn't, I'm sure, speak well of the competitive fire that is certainly within him, but just seems to have that calm demeanor out on the court. 15 points, 5 rebounds now for Jermaine Haley. A night in which other Mountaineers, Matthews with 14, but the big story has certainly been Culver, 25 points and 10 rebounds. On the other end, it's Fats Russell with 28 points for Rhode Island. Mountaineers up 4. Haley dumps down. Shibwe going to work. Oh, tough shot by Oscar Shibwe over Langevin, and a chance for a 3-point play.
And when Shibwe first started in that shot, I said to myself, that's too far away. He's not going to be able, well, I should shut up and just watch a good basketball game and watch a good player, because he certainly knocked that down with confidence.
Well, it started, I understand exactly what you're saying, because it looked like he was going to go jump hook. Instead, he kind of went with one of those old Wilt Chamberlain one-hand jump shots, right?
Yeah.
And the 3-point play for Shibwe.
And Shibwe has gotten his motor running here in the second half.
Oh, he sure does. Inching closer to a double-double, 9 points, 9 rebounds for Oscar Shibwe. Lead is at 7. Doughton turns the corner. Doughton can't finish, and Culver pulls the rebound away. Deuce McBride turns it away. Here's Fats Russell on the move. And Russell able to finish. Fats Russell now has 30 points for Rhode Island.
Just a miscue between 2 West Virginia players just now. Matthews and McBride not on the same page.
Culver thinking about it, spinning back. Culver's shot off the mark. Rebound to Doughton. Doughton pushing.
If you can force Culver away from the basket, you have so much better chance of stopping him from getting that shot to go down.
Langevin trying to go to work on the reverse. He's fouled by Emmett Matthews.
Jermaine Haley called for the personal.
I beg your pardon, it's Haley who's called for the foul.
Boy, not a good defensive job by Culver. Culver's got to slide over and cut that baseline off.
At free throw line, shooting 2.
Haley looks like he got the worst of that exchange with Langevin. He misses the first. Well, ever since you said he had a nice stroke with the free throw line, he's missed his last couple. David Cox probably not happy with that
with me
analysis.
Yeah, well, you know down the stretch, if you have to put somebody on the line, who you want it to be.
Right.
It certainly won't be number 1 for Rhode Island.
Langevin hits the second. There's David Cox, exhorting his team to defend down 4.
Boy, give Rhode Island a lot of credit. They have come in here, fought tooth and nail with the Mountaineers all afternoon.
Haley has Martin on him. Dumps down to Sheboy. Sheboy spins into trouble and draws yet another personal foul. Tate pleading his case, but I don't believe they're going to overturn that foul call. It's a 4-point lead. West Virginia, 3:47 remaining. A technical foul has just been called. Mountaineers up 73-69. West Virginia leading Rhode Island 73-69. Data Tate as we were going to break a technical foul. And let's see the exchange here. Tate pleading his case that I stood my ground.
One of the players are trying to step in and keep him calm. And then the other official, not the official that he was griping to, called that technical. Guess he had heard enough.
It looked like Tate may have said something as he walked away. I mean, that's the indication that we would have that the official heard something he didn't like and decided to go with the technical foul there on Tate. By the way, last time out, Pat's Russell got a couple technical fouls. You worry about whether a guy's going to be able to play in a game. Think about how different this game would be.
Yeah.
He survived those 2 technicals, was expelled from the last game, and now has 30 points here for Rhode Island.
Fans would be leaving the place now if Pat Russell wasn't on the court because it would be a blowout.
It's a 4-point lead. Deuce McBride will shoot the technicals. McBride, a 67% free throw shooter on the year. Missed the first.
Shoot all those free throws and practice and everything, but it's a totally different world when you're out on that island by yourself, nobody around. Oh, he does hit that one.
That's the second one. There's Dana Tate. Seat on the Rhode Island bench.
His 4th foul.
Oscar Sheboy at the line, shooting 2.
Sheboy at the free throw line. 9 points, 9 rebounds for Sheboy in 18 minutes of time.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Off the mark. Now we can hear Langevin, Cyril Langevin, giving Sheboy an earful at the free throw line. And Oscar hits the second. 10 points, 9 rebounds for the freshman. The Mountaineers lead is at 6. That's Russell being guarded by Deuce McBride. Russell on the handoff. Will move to his left. Kicks in the corner. Martin thought about it. Now a little runner. Tyrese Martin. Difficult shot. Cuts the lead to 4 and a quick timeout for David Cox. 30-second timeout.
Boy, what a nice shot by Martin. Sheboy had slid over to maybe take a potential charge, but Martin recognizes and pulls right up. Didn't try to get all the way to the hole. That might have been a certain charge if he goes all the way, but he goes up and hits that little teardrop there.
Well, you have to be under control to hit a shot like that.
Yes, you do. Rhode Island will not go away. Mountaineers have had their hands full the entire afternoon with the Rams.
Well, this is what we expected. This is a good basketball team. They had that victory over Alabama. Again, they were up in the first half on number 7 Maryland. Played LSU close. There's Martin, who hit that little runner, putting him in double figures. So you have Russell at 30 and Martin at 10.
This is the type of team, they get in the big dance in March, you wouldn't want to show up and have to play.
Agreed, especially when they get Anton Walker to transfer from Georgetown on the 21st of December, when he'll be eligible. Sheboy looking. McBride comes over to bail him out. Now pulls up. Deuce McBride too strong, and Langevin, a good rebound. Ahead to Jermaine Harris. And Harris is fouled as he works his way towards the free throw line.
Jermaine Haley called for the personal on his third. Team foul number 7.
Huggins not caring for it.
At the line for Rhode Island, Jermaine Harris.
Showing our replay on the monitor here, so 11,000 fans didn't much like it either. Harris hits the first. It's a 3-point lead. David Cox has spent 1 year under Jamie Dixon as the director of basketball operations. Had been an assistant. Danny Hurley left for UConn, and he ascended to the head coaching job a year ago, and now his team is trailing just by 2 points, 75-73.
Boy, and Rhode Island has done an exceptional job on Emmett Matthews getting no looks here in the second half. Really, West Virginia not able to shake him loose at all.
Russell thought he had a steal with McBride, had him sized up and just kind of missed it. And McBride tries to turn the corner. A step back and hit the 18-foot jump shot, a two-pointer, 77-73.
Big shot by McBride.
Defending on Fats Russell. Oh, and a miscommunication between Harris and Martin. 11th turnover for Rhode Island.
Too much distance. McBride says, if you're not going to come out on me, I can knock that away.
Swatted away by Martin, out of bounds. West Virginia will inbound again.
West Virginia has to be aggressive. Come meet the basketball.
Matthews calling for help.
Can't stand and wait for it to come. Go meet it.
McBride, Russell getting her feet tangled. And now Russell gets his hand on it. Pushing back the other way. Russell right to the basket, teardrop and in. Fats Russell putting on a display here, cutting the lead back to 2. McBride the other way. Draws contact. I think it's going to be the foul down low. Langevin on the block, but I believe it's going to be on Harris. Nope, it's going to be on Langevin.
That's such a quick crossover. And again, he gets the ball up so quick before the bigger guys can get to it.
Oh yeah, that was Langevin with the body. He had the block on the other end, but good call there by the officials. So free throw attempts by Deuce McBride. Hits the first, so the last 3 points here for the Mountaineers. Deuce McBride, we've seen him be big at the big moments.
Yes, we have.
And he hits them both.
Big,
4-point West Virginia lead.
Yeah. Big series for both clubs here.
Fats Russell, pretty look inside the lane.
This young man can do it all. For a freshman bringing it up at McBride, doesn't seem fazed by the situation at all.
Into Shibwe, and they're going to get the block call on Langevin. Well, Langevin's plenty tough.
Yes, he is.
He stood there taking some big hits.
Boy, nice pass. Leading right to the basket. Langevin ready for it.
Regardless of whether he was set, looked like he was inside the arc anyway. Shibwe to the free throw line. And hits the first. By the way, Langevin now with 4 personal fouls, so foul trouble mounting. As they have Langevin and Toppin each with 4 fouls. Tate, by the way, also has 4 fouls. He's over on the bench, so 3 players with 4 fouls. Second free throw missed. Toppin soars for the rebound.
1 possession game right now.
That's Russell going to work and has it blocked away by Shibwe. Was able to keep it in bounds, and now the steal by Haley. And let's see, are they going to say out of bounds? Are they going to call a foul on Russell?
I think they're going to call a foul. Yes.
How about Shibwe blocking the shot, but instead of trying to send it into the 20th row, he's able to control it and keep it in bounds.
Yeah.
That leads to the scramble. And now Haley with a pair of free throws on the other end.
Jermaine Haley at the free throw line for the Mountaineers, shooting 2.
There's Fats Russell. Talking to Chance Moore, the official. Now 21 of 26 from the free throw line for West Virginia. Over 80%. It's off to Mark Shibwe, and they're going to get Shibwe with the push on Langevin. Well, Bob Huggins doesn't like it. He's looking at the monitor, hoping for a replay, seeing the replay, and he's no happier now than he was before the replay was shown here. Cyril Langevin hits the first. One more look at the foul call.
See how much of a foul it was here. Boy. Look like two big guys going for the basketball to me.
Yep. And Langevin hits them both. 2-point lead. McBride has it. Crosses the timeline. And a double. And Martin with a foul. Russell's wondering why he fouled him.
That's his second person.
Especially with a double bonus.
Yeah.
1-on-1, maybe that's something else. But again, you'd think a little too much time to purposely foul. McBride calmly hits the first. 3-point lead. McBride once again has been big for the Mountaineers down the stretch. That one's off the mark. And Langevin the rebound. One possession game. 82-79.
Are they going to try to spring deuce? I'm sorry.
Top shot by Martin. And out of bounds. Shibwe battling for it. Couldn't control. Both he and Haley were going for it, and it's going to be out of bounds. He had a 3-point lead. Very tough shot.
Fine Fats Russell. Right now, McBride gets on Russell, does not leave him. Makes someone else hit the big shot. Of course, 42 seconds. There's no need really for Rhode Island to pump up a three, but if Fats Russell gets a good look at one, you can best believe he's going to shoot it.
Osaboyan in, Shibwe out. Russell, Downton, Martin all over 30% from three-point range. So all these guys are threats. Here's Russell with the ball, being doubled. Langevin will take it to the basket and score, lead down to 1. Timeout. And is going to be called by West Virginia, I believe. I think they're saying a timeout on West Virginia.
I believe Rhode Island called it. I think.
Okay.
Let's see.
Nice move by Langevin.
Yeah, there was a timeout called by the.
They're pointing up like, do we have a clock issue? Regardless, there's a timeout on the floor. Langevin very quietly now, 14 points and 9 rebounds. He's really come through down the stretch as they've put the clamps on Fats Russell a little bit. Langevin, that guy right in the middle of your screen, is really doing a fine job here for Rhode Island.
Well, David Cox said he thought that Langevin would step up and be physical with the West Virginia players, and he has. He's done just that. He has not backed down. He just hasn't had enough help to this point.
Explanation is the clock did not stop after the basket.
Oh, okay. So
they've added a few tenths to it, and it had been down to 34, 35, and 9/10. That's the time left on the clock. So a 5.9 second differential between that and the shot clock. Inbounded to Haley. Rhode Island coming out with some pressure here.
Yep.
Trying to get a turnover. Haley over the timeline to Culver, close to a walk. And now just a 5-second differential. They're going to play this out. The Mountaineers up 1. Down to Haley on the blocks, and Haley able to slide it in.
Boy, a clear out for Haley on the side. Good play by West Virginia.
Lead is 3, and Culver, off of Culver, out of bounds.
Culver went and let the crowd hard down there.
Yeah, Bob Huggins thought there should have been a foul there. Officials will talk things over. And Rhode Island trying to get things organized over here, and Bob Huggins wants a foul call.
Well, he may have had a legitimate beef there. There was a...
I guess the other question is it off Langevin or is it off Culver? I think that's what the officials are looking at now.
Yeah, there was no foul call, so I think they are looking to find out who touched that ball last.
Well, obviously a huge call here.
Yeah.
Rhode Island would have a chance to tie. Here's another look at it.
Let's see. Well, if there's no foul, that's going to be off of Derek Culver.
You would think, and that's the indication.
Yes.
It'll be Rhode Island basketball.
9.2 left. Yes, Rhode Island would look for a 3, but if they could throw the ball inside and get a quick 2, they would take that right now.
I guess your other question is, if you're West Virginia, do you foul a three-point shooter? Put him on the free throw line. Don't allow him to get that, or do you D him up and try to make it tough to make the three-point?
It depends on what coach you're talking about. Now, different coaches have different philosophies. Personally, I never liked it, but, you know, I'm sitting here and not coaching today.
So here's Doughton trying to get things organized. We'll inbound to Langevin. This is Russell. And Martin, I beg your pardon. Oh, and the pass off the mark to Russell.
Oh, my.
And they're trying to find him on the curl. They had it all set up, and Martin's pass too tall, throws it away with 4.2 seconds remaining. And now West Virginia will use the timeout. Oh, man, they had an opportunity.
Yes, they
Russell
did.
was going to be open.
At the very least, catching and creating his own shot for the 3. And West Virginia, 4.2. This game is not over. West Virginia, Sean McNeil checking in the ball game for West Virginia. He's certainly a good free throw shooter. West Virginia, a couple of things. They need to understand that they still have timeouts. So if you have trouble inbounding the ball, you have a timeout that you can call. And secondly, you want to throw the ball away from the opponent's basket. So if it is picked off, they might have to go the length of the court.
Each team with one timeout left, right? If you're Rhode Island, you know, if you can create a quick turnover, would you use a timeout? It all depends upon, I guess, where you got that.
Where you got it, who got it. You may not have a choice other than rifle up the 3, but
now some of these inbounds, when the inbounder can't move, you're pinned along the sideline. Not always easy to get the ball in.
No, it is not. Again, as I said, West Virginia needs to understand that they have timeout.
Then another coaching decision is, do you put somebody on the inbounder, or do you play 5 against 4?
West Virginia's best free throw shooter, McCabe, in the ball game at this point in time. Sean McNeil in, along with Emmett Matthews. We got guys up front, McBride and Haley. Haley with his height, trying to get that ball inbound.
Top and trying to be the guy who stands in front, and a quick inbounds and a foul. As McCabe, the Mountaineers, Bob Huggins draws up and play that relatively easy inbound there.
Yeah. He had 3 of his share, 4 of the guys breaking in different directions. Now, you know, McCabe has been on the bench quite some time, so you have to wonder sometimes, is this guy loose that's coming in? You'll see, and yes, gets that first one.
The all-important first free throw to make it a 4-point game.
Derek Culver in for McNeil. McNeil on the bench.
And McCabe hits them both. Inbound to Fats Russell, and Russell, that's the only thing he missed all day.
My goodness.
Well, what an effort.
Yes,
as David Cox and Bob Huggins exchanging handshakes, and a really a quality win for West Virginia, and a strong performance by Fats Russell and Rhode Island.
Well, Rhode Island has a lot to build off of this loss today. And yes, you know, you always say, well, a loss is a loss, and it doesn't help. But I can't help but David Cox is going to take this and do a lot with it as far as grooming this program.
And a career high for Derek Culver, 25 points. He also had 11 rebounds. There's Fats Russell and Coach Huggins having a nice moment there.
I'd say that, you know, if you decide you want to transfer next year, there might be a blue and gold uniform available.
Well, an excellent win for the Mountaineers, who improve now to 7-0 on the season, and another good quality win for this team. They win the Cancun Classic, and now they are 7-0 as Robbie Inspikowski is with Bob Huggins.
Yeah, it was a close one, back and forth. Mountaineers come away victorious at the end. How would you describe the way your team finished this game?
Well, we did what we had to do, I guess. We got a ways to go. You know, I think now they understand that games like this, as long as we can win, are good for us. I think it makes us understand what we're trying to tell them is the right thing.
You know, Fats Russell for Rhode Island, Bob, 32 points, was a dominant force offensively, an all-around good ball game. What challenges did he present, and how were you able to neutralize the rest of the guys around him?
So we did neutralize them very well. He killed us a year ago. He's a really good player.
What do games like this do for your club? I mean, what do they learn about themselves in non-conference play, having to come back in Cancun and come back and play the game you did today?
I have absolutely no idea.
Why? You're the head coach.
Because I'm not them. I don't understand why. I thought we could have played harder the first half. I thought our offensive execution was very poor. I mean, we did what we had to do at the end of the game. But, you know, if not for an errant pass out of bounds, it's anybody's game.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
All right. Bob Huggins, the winning coach. Now we're going to bring over Derek Culver, who had a fantastic ball game. Derek, 25 points, 11 boards for you coming off the bench. But what were those moments like down the stretch in such a close game?
I feel like me and my team, we had to lock in at the crunch time. You know, I feel like my coaches put me in a good position to capitalize on opportunities to score. So I feel like if I kept playing hard and running the court, I feel like I was able to do so.
You know, Derek, when you look at yourself, Gabe, and Oscar, the three of you, and the presence that you give down low collectively, what is it like to be a part of that for you with this club, given how well they shoot the ball?
Yes, sir. It's really well, because we're like a three-headed dragon, because, you know, you really can't really match up with all three of us at the same time, so it's kind of like pick your poison if you choose. So, you know, if we keep working in day and day out, listen to all of our coaching staff, and keep playing hard for each other, I feel like everything will play out.
You know, when you come in the ball game, you make an instant impact defensively, offensively. What kind of confidence does that give you?
It gives me a lot of confidence, but, you know, it really gives me a lot of confidence that I can go out there and do that and help my team in a big way. You know, if I go out there on a daily basis and work hard and help my team out, like you just said, offense, defense, I feel like everything go hand in hand.
Congratulations on a great game, Derek. Thank you.
Thank you.
How about that? Derek Culver, fantastic game. It's a close one, Robin Warren, but they come out on top, and that is what matters most.
It is what matters most, Robbie, and the Mountaineers are 7-0, Warren, with some nice quality wins on their resume.
Yes, it is, and boy, another big challenge next weekend in New York against St. John. So those type of games you want to play and you want to win.
The Mountaineers defeating Rhode Island 86-81, a career-high 25 points and 11 rebounds for Derek Culver. The Mountaineers improved to 7-0. For Warren Baker, Robbie and Smikowski, our entire AT&T Sportsnet crew, I'm Rob King. Thanks for watching Wild and Wonderful West Virginia coverage on AT&T Sportsnet.